Easy home cooking with Chef Benoit. Welcome to the next episode. New Orleans style barbecue shrimps. Earlier on one of my last videos or so, I made some Cajun seasoning. I'm going to use it today for those shrimps. It's going to give those shrimps that New Orleans flavor. First thing we got to do, prep up the veggies. We're having pasta with New Orleans shrimps and some veggies. As you can see, I got lots of veggies here. About a quarter of an onion right here, diced up in 1 inch. A few slices of red pepper, green pepper, orange pepper. I prefer the orange pepper. Diced up already. About 10 round things of zucchinis, not too thick, about a quarter-inch thick. Asparagus, some carrots, and some celery, or their veggies. First of all, what we're gonna do is I'm already boiling the water on the stove, so we're gonna throw the carrots in here because carrots take a little longer than anything else. And in about 2 minutes, we're gonna throw the ends of the asparagus in there, and then we're gonna throw the rest in about 3 or 4 minutes. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the stove on here for the skillet. We're gonna prep up with some butter. Portuguese butter, obviously. It's salted, so you don't have to really add too much salt at the end. We're going to fry up the orange peppers and the onions. Gonna let that butter melt a little bit. This shouldn't take very long, 3 or 4 minutes. Excuse me. Oh, that smells real good, real good. So make sure everything's gonna get some butter on it. That way it's gonna cook on medium heat while the carrots are cooking. And I added everything else. So carrots first, and then whatever's chunky, celery. And what we want to do right now, we're gonna strain it over the sink, and because we don't want it cooking anymore, because in the dish is gonna cook a little bit longer. New Orleans style barbecue shrimp. I'm going to put that in the bowl. We need the strainer for the pasta, so don't put that away. And then what we're going to do is put in the peppers and the onions in there. They were cooked in butter, so it's going to be a nice flavor by the time we're done here. Next step, I'm warming up starting to boil the hot water for the pasta, so it's going to take a little bit of time while I do the shrimps. Let's turn this on. I got a gas stove, so it's really good to cook. Got a big pan. Love it. Love this pan, especially when you're cooking some sauces and such. Okay, so now it's time for the main dish, the shrimps. I got the pan warming up. You need 3/4 or half a cup of butter. So what we're going to use is we're going to be using about 3/4 of the butter to start with. And get it nice and foamy. I'm going to put that in there. We're going to save that for later at the end of the dish to make the shrimp so buttery with garlic. Oh, wonderful. We'll let that melt a little bit there. In the meantime, what we can do is we can add I took 1 clove of garlic, all chopped up, just like that. You're going to need about a tablespoon of the Cajun pepper. So I love this stuff, so yeah, a little bit. That's going to add the flavor to the shrimp. Oh, you know what? Bang! A little bit more. Doesn't hurt. And then some fresh ground pepper. You got to do the pepper in here. Yeah, twist that pepper. Nothing like fresh ground pepper in any meal. Don't buy that stuff that's already done for you. Just buy the big pieces there and do it yourself. It's going to be so tasty. So once the butter melts here, because my pan's so big, you're going to help it a little bit there. And what we want is, we kind of want to caramelize it, but we want to make sure that butter is all melted in the pan. I got it on about 3/4 full right now, the flame on my gas stove. Gonna let that simmer for a little bit here for about a minute or two. So it's all about done. Check it out. Check it out. You don't want to burn it. You want that nutty flavor to come out. Oh, that smells good. The next step is you have to add your chicken broth. 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth. I use my own. I do my own boiling water, a cube of chicken broth. It gave me a 3/4 of a cup. We're gonna throw that in there. You need 1/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, this is almost the secret New Orleans ingredient. Put that in there, and then can't eat shrimp without that little lemon flavor. You could use the lemon juice, or you can just squirt the lemon. You want about 2 tablespoons of this. So now we're gonna let it boil for about 6 to 8 minutes before we throw the shrimps in there. Check that out. That's why you want to have it done right now. I'm gonna stir it up a little bit. So basically all the spices are cooking up. The garlic is nice and soft. And the only thing left in this dish is to add the shrimps. But before we do the shrimps, I like to cook with tequila. And if you've been following me, you know what happens when I pour tequila. Nope, it's not for the dish. Video photographer back there loves tequila. And here you go. There you go. Cheers, joy. Oh, that's good. My sauce is ready. I already peeled the shrimps. That's what we got. Got about 20 shrimps. I'm gonna dump that in there, and we're gonna cover it up. I'm gonna put it all around the pan to make sure all those shrimps are covered. The shrimps take about 5 to 6 minutes, depending on the sizes you get. So I'm gonna cover it up. Then we're gonna stir it in a few minutes. I got my hot water right here boiling, so it's ready for the pasta. Pasta is gonna take like 2.5 minutes. I buy fresh pasta from the Italian bakery in Barry. It comes in a pack of 6. Just the best pasta you ever had, unless you want to grab that dried out stuff and boil it. But let's come back in a few minutes and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's been about 3 minutes. Check out these shrimps. Like I told you, come on over and check it out. So you got the bottom part's all cooked up. It's got that real good New Orleans flavor to it. Whoa. Look at that. We're going to flip them by the tongue. You could shake the pan and try to flip them over, but because of the sauce, you're going to make a mess. So just use a nice pair of rubber tongues so you don't damage your pan. And this is going to take about another 3 minutes. So what we're going to do is, in about 2 minutes, we're going to put all the veggies in there so they get all that flavor of the New Orleans style barbecue sauce on there. Okay, and in the meantime right now, what we're going to do is we're going to throw in the pasta. The water's boiling. We're going to throw in a little bit of salt in here. Dang! Well, that's from somebody else. Let's put that in there delicately. Put the lid back on. I'm going to get my fork. Make sure that it all gets unbundled up. Crank this up a little bit. Put that away. Waiting for the shrimps. 2 more minutes. One of the things we do right now is we had a little bit of butter, the leftover butter from the half cup. We want to put that in there. Mix it all up. Look at this. Look at this dish. Unfortunately, you can't smell it from the video, but it sure is smelling good. So what I do is I add the butter here. I crank up the heat a little bit because this is like the final destination. Good movie, eh? Now I thicken up the sauce. So I already prepped this up. A little cornstarch, a little bit of water. Like our sauce a little bit thick. Pour all that in there. If it gets too thick, you just add water to it. Let's give it a stir. And then it's going to boil up. Should thicken the sauce. Now you don't want it too thick. Look at that. You can already tell from the cornstarch. Look at the sauce. Look at that beauty. Okay. And now you want to add the veggies. So we got the veggies right here. Okay. They've all been pre-cooked. So it shouldn't take too long. Just mix it all up in there. Mix it all nice and good. Then we're going to put the lid on for about a minute and a half. The heat's cranked up. So basically now we just want to warm up the veggies. The shrimps are pretty well almost done. put the lid on there and we'd be good to go. In the meantime, let's check out our pasta. Pasta doesn't take very long. Look at that. Ooh. Now, people will always try the pasta and see if it's cooked or so, but depending where you cook it at, it should be fine. That is good pasta. All right, so let's check out in about a minute, see what the dish looks like. Woo! Woo! The pasta is ready. Nothing like fresh pasta. We're going to strain it right now. Strain it real good. Like that. We're going to add a touch of olive oil. You need to put a little bit of olive oil in the pasta and pretty much any dish you do. So just a little bit there, like that. We're going to give it a little stir. We're going to plate it. While that's absorbing the olive oil, check this out. Check it out. Look at that. Look at that dish. Oh my God. All right, so the pasta's there. We're going to put it on the plate. We're going to plate it. Now, you don't want too much pasta because the main dish is all the shrimps. This is just to add, instead of having potatoes, piece of bread, this fresh pasta, if you can buy fresh pasta wherever you live, I highly recommend it, unless you want to make your own. And that's another episode. Yeah, baby. So check this out. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. And basically all we're going to do right now is we're going to plate it. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, you guys can't smell it. It's a beauty. It is a beauty. This is going to taste real good. Easy home cooking with Chef Benoit. That is me. This edition is brought to you by Bananaware. They got some really great organic teas. It's called Simple Life. Then they have Simple Life, make it yours. Simple Life, enjoy the moment. And Simple Life, don't just dream it. Live it. You live it the way you want to live it. Got a little bit of leftover sauce. I'm going to put that, take that spatula, and we're going to put some of that on top there. That's why you add a little bit of olive oil on the pasta. So you don't want it too dry. And that is the dish. But to top it up, you can use parsley. That's all my stuff. Or you can have cilantro. We love cilantro. This adds really good flavor to the New Orleans barbecue shrimp. Check it out. Hang on, let me try. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Follow the recipes. Like them. Comment on them if you're making them. And don't forget, bananaware.com is where you get the teas. See you next time on Easy Home Cooking.